Before we get to the big stories, I would like to talk to Tracy, who has been on hold, calling us from Tampa. Tracy, you are on the air. What would you like to say?
Good morning, Dr. Bones.
Good morning, Tracy.
Studio.
Thank you.
Morning.
Well, that was a little clunky, but let's try the studio one again. We'd all like to call back to you. Go ahead. All right, didn't work out. All right.
What?
Okay, nothing. What would you like to say, Tracy?
Shoot.
You lost me there, Bobby.
Yeah, it happens. Go ahead.
No, I just want to talk about the ring,
Yeah.
the ring thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
And that I have to side with Lunchbox on this one for once.
Yeah, so what happened was in the
really-
mailbag, we had someone that said, hey, found a ring in the parking lot. Proposed. No,
No, it was a listener
it was
came
your
up to
story.
me.
Yeah, it wasn't a mailbag. It
Yeah.
was your story. Listener came up to Amy and said, hey, that caller got me all flustered. I don't know. There's like 8 things happening at once. So a listener went up to Amy and said, hey, my boyfriend, I guess maybe now fiance,
Oh, they're married now.
maybe husband, found a ring in a parking lot and used it to propose.
Yeah.
And we started talking about if we'd like that. And I said, no, I wouldn't like that. I would think if you can't find the person, you then sell it and use that money to buy a ring more her style and also one that's meant for her. And Lunchbox said, no, you just use the ring and that's showbiz, baby, basically is what he said. But you can hear that back on the podcast. But she, I think, agreed with Lunchbox. You just find a ring, then you can use it. Right, Tracy? Is that basically what you're saying?
Absolutely, because if that was a 3-carat ring, that girl would have wanted that ring.
Yeah, but imagine if you sell it and you can buy one that was meant for her specifically of the same value, but it's something that aesthetically she likes and a ring that was meant for her that wasn't lost by someone else, that they could later see it on her finger and be like, that's my ring. There are just so many bad things that could happen with that. But I get it. We all have the right to our opinion, even if some of them aren't as good as others. But yes, thank you, Tracy. I appreciate that call. Let's go over and do the big stories.
Bobby's Big
Stories.
Need to take a breath after that one. All right, here we go. Therapists really can help cut down on the nightmares that you experience. We have more nightmares than usual when we're having issues related to work or relationships in real life. People who are frustrated and confused during the day reported more recurring nightmares. Also, negative feelings or stressful experiences may lead to an increase in recurring nightmares. But therapy is a great way to figure out your problems and eliminate built-up frustrations, which are leading to night terrors. That is from studyfinds.org. And I have a deal with BetterHelp, which I love therapy. It's been a life changer for me. And I think yesterday, Eddie told us on the post show that he was sad. And so we're getting you hooked up with BetterHelp.
Yeah.
Because I am telling you, listen, I'm going to take 4 steps back. Where I grew up in Mountain Pine, Arkansas, population 700, there was no therapy. We were trying to figure out how to get food on the table and eat 3 meals a day, not go to some fancy brain wrangler, because all the TV shows would be like, oh, you're going to a shrink. Oh, and there was a stigma where I come from. However, I could not believe in it more. This is what happened with me. I got insurance for the first time. I was like, wait, so if I get sick, this is paid for? And they were like, well, mostly young men. And so I started looking at the things, and therapy was one of them. And I went, and it changed my life because I would talk to someone who had absolutely no bias toward my situation, meaning they weren't invested. It wasn't they didn't care, but they didn't care what happened. It didn't affect them. So they were giving their professional opinion based on education, and is a life changer. And I understand when I got jumped, got my house broken into, had a gun to my head, all within a short, year or so span, therapy saved me because I was not sleeping ever. I would just close my eyes in the middle of the day and I would see somebody with a gun coming up to my head. So that was severe trauma type stuff, but also from like as Amy calls it, the little T type stuff, little traumas from life. Therapy's awesome. So this is not a commercial. I'm such an advocate for making sure your mental health is taken care of. If you're going to do 3 sets of 12 curls on your arms, but you're not going to work on your mind, on your brain, on your mental health, it's the same. And just because you come from a place like I come from, where it is not a priority because we had other priorities like eating, doesn't mean it's not as important. So I'm here to share that with you. And BetterHelp's awesome. If you go to betterhelp.com/Bobby, 10% off your first month, and you can do it from your phone, you can video, you can talk, you can turn your video off, whatever you need. Not a commercial, but just something that I'm very passionate about is making sure your mental health is good because then you can be present for other people. Anything you'd like to add to that, Amy?
Yeah, no, I would just say, like, talking to friends and family is one thing, like just having anybody you can talk to, but then that outside perspective is just truly a gift if it's something you are able to implement into your routine. Because, yeah, again, like you said, it's a third party that's not invested and they're able to just give you a proper perspective.
And you may go, I can't afford it.
Right.
Get it. But that's why a place like BetterHelp exists, because it is actually a lot more affordable. So there you go. I will say that again. That was not a commercial, just something that I'm proud to be associated with, and I think would help a lot of folks, which even, by the way, I'm getting Eddie lined up. We're going to have him. He's going to come in and be fresh as a daisy.
Can't wait.
Well, and I saw, because Eddie was saying he was sad and the stress of like 4 kids, and I did see an article just this morning about how if you're someone raising 3 or more kids, it can lead to like you losing your mind.
There you go.
That's the headline of the
Looking
article.
forward to this therapy
headline,
session.
Wait, the headline.
One session doesn't fix it, Eddie. It's not one session and you're done.
Study says raising 3 or more children can make you literally lose your mind.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
right here.
I'm feeling it.
Yeah.
Is that written by Eddie? Did he submit that?
No, it's from the New York Post.
House committee holds the first public UFO hearing in 50 years. This is from Newsweek. The truth is out there, and the House committee is hoping to find it. The House Intelligence Committee Subcommittee on Counterterrorism, Counterintelligence, and Counterproliferation is holding an open congressional hearing today, Tuesday, to talk about UFOs, the first hearing in more than 50 years. Here's the thing. We don't want to know. We think we want to know.
Yeah, we don't.
But we don't want to know. Because if we do find out, we're going to flip our crap. We're not prepared to handle the fact that something far more advanced than us can do things to us that we couldn't even think about because we don't have the technology to, 1, do it ourselves, or 2, fight back. We don't want to know. They may be super friendly. I doubt it.
Probably not. But
if there's anything at all, we don't want to know. We think we do. I'm kind of interested. I hope so. I hope we find something. But we don't want to know. Okay, thank you. Is Netflix going live? That's the question. The video platform is exploring live streaming for its unscripted shows and stand-up specials with the option of live voting on programs like The Circle. So it was only a matter of time until
That's
Netflix
cool.
became a whole channel, like a real...
Yeah.
So now Netflix is exploring another new avenue, live streaming. So Daily Mail has a story about how some of their shows, Love is Blind or Selling Sunset. How can you sell Sunset though live?
I just feel like that cannot be
You
live.
just watch a negotiation. Because I'm gonna tell you, I've been to some of those. They're boring as crap. Or a closing.
Oh, come on.
So there is that. Which, by the way, I have no news on when my show will be going on Peacock or USA Network. As soon as I'm getting a lot of messages, when does it happen? I have no idea. These aren't things that I know, but as soon as I do, I promise I'll tell you. Here's another escape story. A Louisiana juvenile escaped with a security officer, but they have been caught. Lunchbox, this is kind of your beat. Did you read this?
Yeah, so it was a 21-year-old female guard, and she got 3 teenagers out, and they fled, and they were caught in Houston, Texas, in a hotel. But a couple of them were charged with attempted murder, and they were facing all these charges, and she got them out of jail and went on the run, and they lasted, 24 hours. They were found.
You think they saw the other one? They were inspired by
That's
it?
what I think. I'm like, she saw this in the news. Is like, oh my goodness! Like, the fact that it happened like a week after. She's like, we can run away, and these guys are my friends, and I'm cool to these guys. And there was like 2 17-year-olds and a 15-year-old with a 21-year-old woman. Now she's gonna go to prison.
That's from the New York Post. That is scary because other people see it and go, hey, we can probably get away with it. But their story ended up good though. That's the thing. The original story of the inmate, the woman,
Alabama.
She died and he's back in jail.
Right.
So it's like it's not
they
Shawshank Redemption where they just get away.
And they had at least $95,000 in cash.
Yeah.
What does this 21-year-old woman have?
Like a third of
$100?
Bitcoin. Yeah, I don't know. Finally, we got a couple more. The top partying injuries.
Uh-oh.
Back cramps from not sleeping properly. Bruises. Being packed in house parties and running into bushes and curbs.
Yeah.
Small cuts. When
Falling
we
down.
drink, parts of our body become numb to tables and corners and sharp edges. Broken bones. Sprained ankles, especially if you're wearing heels for the ladies.
Oh.
Concussion. That's from Bro Bible. But Steve, our executive producer, Scuba Steve, said, you cracked something in your foot at a house party once?
Yeah, it was stupid. I was battle dancing.
Hold on, you were what?
I was battle dancing.
That's a thing?
Yeah, it's a thing.
Is
of the
that
day.
like where you go, da-da-da-da-da, challenge?
What year was this?
Is this 1927? Do you have a top hat?
Had him in the 90s.
See, it was definitely the early 2000s. Battle dancing. This guy's daughter, she was a really good dancer, and I just was feeling it with all the drinking I had been doing. And I think I did a pretty good job until I was dancing, and then I rolled on my foot, and I broke my 5th metatarsal, which I didn't realize for weeks. I walked on it. I just numbed the pain with drinking, and then I went to the doctor, and they told me, yeah, you split the bone. You need to get surgery on that.
I'm just so intrigued by battle dancing.
Yeah.
I thought it would be the injury that really hooked me.
The
but it's
metatarsal.
the
That's
battle
boom,
dancing.
Boom, boom, boom.
Or do you take turns?
Yeah, like she goes, I go, and then I one-up her, and she one-ups me, and everyone's like cheering on.
So, like, we see this in movies, like where people circle around.
Yeah.
and-
Yeah, that we did in real life in my my wife's living room.
And this was like a 10-year-old because you said it was someone's daughter.
Yeah, she was 8. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Guys, y'all
was a
never
really good
experienced
dancer.
Hold on. Let me stop. She literally was 8.
She was 8.
But it's
Fantastic dancer.
But you said at a house party.
Yes, at a house party.
Why
Well,
is an 8-year-old the story just gets weirder and weirder? Why is an 8-year-old at a house
Well,
party?
my wife is Filipino, and their culture, even though we have house parties, it's a big party with like family and cousins and all that kind of stuff. Mostly adults, but there were some kids there, and one of them was this kid's daughter.
And you felt the need to dominate an 8-year-old in anything.
Well, and dancing in particular, well, I just was really drunk, and I had a couple drinks. It's like one of those Ray moments where you drink a lot and you don't realize what you're doing, but you're doing
even
it.
though it's an 8-year-old,
She was dancing like a 20-year-old. She was.
I don't like to hear that.
I do that.
I don't like to hear that. Creepiest statement of the day.
Edit that.
And that's your creepy statement here on the Bobby Bone Show.
Wait. Do you remember what song y'all battled to?
It was very like hyphy Bay Area type music, like E40, like hip hop type music.
Okay.
Not the kind of dancing you're thinking of. It's like really like battle
break dancing?
Well,
Like break dancing, yeah.
You mean like battle dancing? We don't know what that means.
I'm trying to figure out what moves you were doing.
Okay, thank you, Scuba Steve.
You're welcome.
The creepy segment of the day.
What in the world just happened?
A man who says he's been abducted by aliens 60 times shares what they look like. Russ Kellett, a 58-year-old from North Yorkshire, believes he spent the past 30 years as a super soldier in what he claims to be a war between aliens and, well, other aliens, pledging his allegiance to a race 15 foot tall at times. He says this war's been going on for years. He said he's had some sort of tube pushed down his throat, and whatever liquid they pumped into him, he turned into one of their super soldiers.
Listen,
Prove he didn't.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I
prove he
knew-
didn't.
I knew Bobby
Can't
was
a
saying.
simple blood test figure
blood
that out?
test?
Yeah, can't you just do a blood test? Where's
Unless they know what our blood tests are looking for and can make sure. It's like the steroid game. The performance-enhancing drug game is always ahead of testing for performance-enhancing drugs.
Okay.
They know what the tests are going to be, and we can do that.
that? All right.
have y'all heard about that couple from the 60s as a husband and wife that said they were abducted?
Not this one specifically.
Okay.
Why?
Well, because the reason why people are starting to or have believed their story all these years is they never made a big deal about it for like to publish a book or get in the news or, create this big story. They told their core people because they both experienced a bout of amnesia where there was a 2-hour period where neither one of them could remember anything and they had to go see the psychologist and then
did
suddenly
they battle dance? They were
they
just drunk.
remembered the same thing. And then he had these things growing on like his private area.
Oh no! Okay, I think he hooked up with somebody else,
Yeah.
and now he's got an excuse. Yeah,
That happens.
We know it. He's like, I don't know. There's a lot of little wart-like things, but it's an alien, honey. You have them too? She's like, I do, because he. Yeah, this one was easy to figure out.
boy.
No need to go to Unsolved Mysteries for this story.
I know. I just heard that story yesterday. And I was like, what?
Well, he
But
really committed,
just-
huh?
He did.
Like he did.
No, but
he did
they-
her wrong.
No.
Got some sort of disease and just held on to it.
But how do they both have this period of time where they don't remember anything and they were taken up and then they both, when they shared their story with a psychiatrist, like she had something poked into her belly button and he had like sperm extracted.
Yeah, he went hard on his cover. I've never heard of a cover as hard as that.
I don't know.
All right, finally, Black Mirror returns. My favorite show. It's the greatest show on Netflix. They've started to cast again. It's been more than 5 years since the show. I love it. It is crazy.
It's crazy.
They've predicted stuff that's happened now. It's
Yeah.
just- yeah. That's from Variety. And that is the news.
Those were Bobby's Big
Stories.
Thank you. Calls 877-77-BOBBY. If we can get James ready to hold, he has a great question that a lot of people wonder about how when something like Lunchbox embarrassing the show in front of Guy Fieri, when after that happens, how do we handle it off the air? James, if you will hold, I will come to you next, and we'll take more calls as well. 2 people are arrested. They are suspected of stealing 60 ATMs.
Oh my.
Yeah, police say, we think we caught the culprits. But boy, that is, you have to have some knowledge about ATMs to steal an ATM, I think, and get into an ATM. I don't think you can just pull one out and be like, we got it, free money. You got to learn, you got to know how to get into them. Once I had a buddy, and listen, I have done radio bits that have ended in trouble. I've been sued, Lunchbox been put in jail. So take it from me, someone who's also done really stupid things. But he was doing a bit where he wanted to see if he rolled up to an ATM in a truck and throw a rope over the back of it and act like he was trying to steal it.
Like lassoing it?
Yeah.
And to find out what? How long
I don't know.
it took cops to get there?
I don't know. It was like the bet Lunchbox and I did where he went to jail. We were just seeing what would happen if he walked into
Oh,
it.
my God.
Yeah.
So what happened?
So I'm not sure if he did it. I stopped listening because I did not want to be someone that knew about that and then he get in trouble.
I mean, that is hysterical.
That's from Cairo 7. So both men have had several felony convictions on their records. They, again, stole a whole bunch of ATMs. So there's that.
How many you need? I mean, 30 should be good, right? That's a lot of money.
5?
Yeah.
2? James in Arkansas is on. Now, this is what I was talking about before the break. Hey, James, thank you for calling into the show. What is your question?
Yes. Good morning, Bobby.
Morning.
Video.
Morning.
My question is, whenever Lunchbox interviews someone like Guy Ferrari, and he does something to embarrass the show, do you go behind him and call and apologize or anything like that to whomever he's talking to?
And that'd be good of me to do, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I guess I don't.
Little damage control.
Well,
What
I don't know how
damage
to
control?
I don't know how to get a hold of Guy Fieri. How do you say his name?
Fieri.
Yeah, I tried to say it right. I just go with Guy
That
Fieri.
sounds weird.
I don't know him well enough. I don't know him at all. I guess I met him a couple times, but I would have loved to just text him and be like, sorry about that. I've probably texted a couple people sorry about that, but that's it. But sometimes it's for things I've said too. So not just Lunchbox, but yeah, some of that stuff Lunch does is pretty cringy. The Guy Fieri one, you got to admit, that's brutal.
I still don't think it was that brutal.
You just
got-
yelled at him over and over again from across the room.
Yeah, I did. And I tried to get him to say we were friends.
He
And
was like low key trying to alert his security to get
Yeah.
rid of you.
and I don't understand why this guy says you would go behind my back and say apologize to him. Why would you apologize to him? They're just humans.
Well, because he
I
obviously...
wasn't rude to the guy.
You were very rude to him. Yeah, yeah.
He was trying to
You
work.
thought I was rude to Guy Fieri?
It wasn't like direct rude, but it was sort of just disrespectful in a
To
way.
the event.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah.
So I was torn.
Really funny.
So I was just like,
Oh,
it's funny.
man.
It's good.
I didn't even think of rude. That never crossed my mind.
I have what they say are the worst tourist attractions, meaning they exist. We read about them, we talk about them, we go see them, and then we complain because we were like, well, that wasn't actually quite as cool as I thought.
Cool.
So I have the list, and I don't want to be sacrilegious to our listeners in San Antonio, but I definitely thought the Alamo was going to be bigger
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was your problem.
when I went.
Because you thought it'd be bigger.
Yeah, all this is probably our problem.
But the first
Yeah.
time you saw it was it as an adult.
But yeah,
the-
when I-
Yeah,
I
because
nev-
we saw
I-
it as kids.
I don't
I
know,
never
'cause-
went to San Antonio until I
No,
was.
Right,
as a
I'm
kid, you think,
clarifying,
oh,
'cause
wow, it's big.
we-
But when you get
Huge.
older, it's like,
Us
That's
Texans,
not
we
very
saw it
big.
as kids.
Yeah,
It
man. So back
seemed
off,
big.
all right?
But I'm telling you, when I went into it, I was like, this is like my apartment in college.
Yeah.
And the story's crazy.
Yeah.
Everything, but I just thought it would be bigger because of Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah.
Because that's what
You
I
thought
saw
there'd
as
be a
kid.
basement?
Yeah. I thought the bite, you know. Here we go. Number 10, Buckingham Palace. I've seen it. I thought it was fine.
Did you get close up?
No, I was outside the fence, and it's like driving down to a part of town where all the rich people live.
what is that?
Big houses. You're like, wow, I wonder what they
Big
do.
gates.
No, what is Buckingham Palace?
It's
the
where
Queen.
the queen lives.
Oh, in England. Okay.
It's fine.
But the guards, they can't blink.
I don't know.
They
that
have
that's
to
true.
blink. They
I don't
have
know
to
that.
blink.
Maybe it's like the guards. They can't
I
breathe.
don't
They can't
know.
breathe.
they have to
I
blink.
thought it was that they're not supposed to
I
blink.
don't think it's smile or talk.
Okay, maybe it's
Yeah, I was
smile.
going to say, how can they not
Yeah,
blink?
maybe
That's
it's
impossible.
smile or talk. But
The pyramids of
Giza. Giza.
never been.
I don't know.
Where's that?
That's too far for me.
Man, what's crazy about that is it's like in the middle of the city. So you would think you see pictures of it and you're like, oh, that looks in the middle of the desert.
But so is the Alamo. They
You've
just built a
been?
city
You've
around
been?
it.
No, just when you look at pictures.
Oh yeah.
No, never
I started to
been.
believe Eddie. I was like,
Me
wow.
too.
Wow.
Never
The
been.
Empire State Building. It's just now there are a lot bigger buildings in New York,
Right.
and
It's
I'll
cool
go up
to go
there
on
to
top.
work. Yeah, and it's like even going on top, you're like, This is tall, but how about those 7 other ones around us that are taller?
I can't look past that one.
So people are at this point. The Leaning Tower of Pisa. I'd never seen it. Don't know. The White House. That's pretty cool. It's small though. It's smaller than you think.
Yeah.
Small.
And you
First
can't
time I
get
ever went,
close.
I was like, what in the world? I was expecting just to take up 2 city blocks, and it's just like, it fits right in my camera, no problem.
It's cool to see, but it's small. And people I know that have been in or even stayed there, they're like, it's crappy. Like inside
Like
of
the
it.
quality,
Old.
like
Yeah,
really?
like it's old and it's crappy. There you go. Big Ben, the big clock in London, overrated.
a lot of London places there.
The Hollywood sign in California, overrated.
Oh, I think that's so cool.
You can't get to it.
So you can see it though, and it's really cool to see it.
It's fine.
I mean, but don't you always look for it when you're in LA? You're
Yeah,
like,
I
where
like
is it?
seeing it.
Where is it? Oh, there it is. That's so
Yeah.
cool.
Stonehenge at 3. Never seen it. I don't know that I think that was overrated because aliens did that, so it'd be pretty
Where
cool.
is that?
I don't know. It's in somewhere in one of those countries I've never been to. The Palace of Versailles. No idea where that is. Anybody know?
Versace?
Sounds like.
Versailles?
Versailles.
How about Spain? We'll go with
Is
Spain.
it- I don't
I
know.
don't know.
France.
I never been there. I have a French minor. Never been. Everybody in the class basically went to France. They're like, where do you love?
Versailles.
I was like, I gotta go to work, guys.
That used to be when I sold granite and tile back in the day. We had the Versailles pattern.
And what was that pattern?
I don't even remember.
Probably marble, huh?
Stupid. Stupid and overpriced. And then finally, the Hollywood Walk of Fame, which is the biggest piece of dog crap I've ever seen because it's just old sidewalk.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And it's covered in spit and gum, and it's in like the worst touristy part of Los Angeles.
And they kind of let anyone be part of that too, because you walk over and you're like, I don't know who that is. I don't know
well,
who that
some of
is.
them are really old, and it's like directors.
Okay.
Well, no, they don't let anyone be a
anybody.
part of
I'm
that.
just
That's
saying, like
not
you expect,
true.
like, oh, Tom
Just
Hanks, I
because-
see it.
What an honor. I
Yeah,
think,
that would be
still.
not any. You should take that back.
I'm like, who's Jim?
I'm offended
Fever?
for Jim Fever, yes, who worked hard to be there. That's from my London, but mostly, I feel like if something's hyped up, it almost can't live up to the expectation, regardless. Except for the Grand Canyon.
But, see,
Which
I
is
haven't been there yet,
amazing.
but
Oh
I
my
want
gosh.
to. Is it
It's
going to live up to
Crazy.
it?
It's why it doesn't matter what your thought of it is. You get there and you're like, holy moly.
I guess that's the opposite of the Alamo, huh? It's like, wow, I didn't know it was going to be this big.
I mean, it's even called the Grand Canyon. It's still grander. They should call it the Grander Canyon. It's wild. It's long. It's big. I mean, and I hung over that thing on my.
Oh.
It's
Breaking Bobby
It's
bones.
awful. And sometimes there's not guardrails on a lot of it too. You can walk. You can literally walk over the edge and die.
Well,
So
that's
you
not
were
fun.
above it. Did you ever go down in it?
We were like, I was like 4,000 feet on a rope hanging
Yeah.
above it. My goal was not to end up on the bottom. That was a tough one. Tim McGraw now, 7,500 OBO, Bobby Bones Show. Thank you for listening. Hope you guys are having a good morning. Call us if you'd like. 877 77 BOBBY. In studio on Music Row.
It's the Bobby Bones Show.
All right, next segment, there is a fancy guy from Harvard who's a nutritionist. He's also a brain expert. He says you got to avoid these types of foods because if you do, they will make you tired and stressed more than other kinds of foods, like your brain, with what it does to your brain. So we'll do that. And then we'll talk about tipping. If you're buying food, if you're eating food, if you're taking out food, how most people feel about it. And we'll go through some calls as well. So hit us up, 877-77-BOBBY. We'll be right back. Gonna go over and talk to Kelly, who lives in Colorado Springs. Hey, Kelly. Good morning. What's going on with you?
Hey, studio. Good morning.
What's happening?
Well, I wanted to ask. I've been wondering this for a while. My son and I listen to your show on the way into me dropping him off for middle school every day. And we were curious, what do you guys think is the most romantic song of all time? I would love to know what each of you think of that.
Are you saying most romantic? Does it need to be in country, or can it be any song whatsoever? We lose her, Kelly?
No, I'm here.
Okay. Any country or any genre whatsoever?
Oh, any genre whatsoever. I'm just curious.
Well, what do you
your
think it is?
favorite-
Yeah. Well, let's start with you, Kelly. What do you got? We keep losing her. All right. Well, I'll just take it from here. Okay. Here are the songs that I think are the most romantic songs of all time. I'm gonna go Beach Boys. God only knows. I'm gonna go God Only Knows.
Beautiful.
God only knows what I'd be without you.
Old, but man,
Love
it's
it.
2.5 minutes of just perfect romance and how sad he'd be. God only knows what I'd be without you. That's awesome.
Yeah, but he starts by saying like, "I may not always love you."
Well,
Because-
she might die.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
See, I never heard.
That's George Jones too, you know. But yeah, I may not always love you
as long as there are stars above you.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, she's still there. She's back.
Yeah.
Back. All right, so I'm gonna go God Only
here.
Knows
I'm sorry.
from the Beach Boys, and then I'm gonna go, and then I'll get to a couple country ones, and I'm gonna go the Pretenders, I'll Stand By You, which won't let nobody hurt you. I'll stand by you.
Yeah, that's good.
I'll stand by. That is a lovely song. Passionate. That's a good one. I'm gonna go Willie Nelson. Always on My Mind.
Always on my mind.
It's another one that kind of starts with, "I may not
You
always
were
love you."
always on my mind.
I maybe didn't say all the things I should have said.
But but that's him saying I've done some things wrong.
I get it. I'm just
Yeah.
sensing a little pattern here.
It's all these dudes who've screwed up, who've had to write love songs because they suck. And then I'm gonna go with the chicks. Cowboy, Take Me Away.
Cowboy, take me away.
Just consistently, like, just pure love. Take me, I trust. I don't know that one. I don't even want a cowboy to grab me and take me away, but like I understand the feeling. So yes, those would be the four
That's okay.
that I'm coming to my mind with. Amy.
I mean, things that pop into my head are like old school. Is it Roxette? Like nothing compares.
No, that's Sinead
to
O'Connor.
you. It is.
Yeah, nothing compares to you. Prince.
What's
sang
the
it first.
Roxette one?
Maybe
It must have
Roxanne?
been love, but it's over now. Is that? That's a
I
breakup
think
song?
nothing compares to you is a good one.
Okay, then that's
Yeah,
the one
yeah.
that's in my head. And then if I think of like George Strait, because he is my everything, it's like Carrying Your Love With Me, something like that.
All right, Kelly. There you have it. I think.
In love with me.
Oh, there she
she's
is.
singing
Yeah. I like it.
Two quick things.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, so first of all, the one that I would pick is because my husband and I were going through a really rough patch, like almost divorced, all those fun things, and we moved to Colorado Springs, and I bought tickets to the Drew and Ellie Holcomb show that was up near Denver. They have never come to Colorado before. They haven't been since, but I was like, dude, I'm going to this concert. You can come with me if you want to. And they played Fields of Gold. And that was
Like
just
Sting?
such, like a beautiful bonding moment for us.
Sting, Fields of Gold. And there's out of Fields of Gold. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. And then, yes, Cowboy Take Me Away, because our dream has always been to own our own ranch. And we actually bought it. We are starting. It's small, but we're getting started. We bought it this February. So
That's awesome.
Cowboy Take Me Away has been one that we've thought about since high school, that we've loved since high school. And so now we're starting to live that. He's been a cowboy forever, and I have not been a cowgirl, but we're moving in that direction. So
Well, that's pretty cool. Congratulations. Yeah, appreciate the call.
Thanks.
Kind of off the cuff there. And now,
80s on the 8s. It's the Pretenders. Grab that person you love, hold them tight, and let them know no matter what crap happens, you're there with them. 94.1, The Bone. Dang.
The
Now you look so sad. It's tears are in your eyes. Come on and come to me now. Don't be ashamed to cry.
Did that and put it out now. It's probably a forgotten song.
Should we do it?
No, we shouldn't. Somebody good should.
I don't know that I've ever listened to all the words.
Yeah, it's pretty powerful.
Powerful, yeah.
All right, that's what's up. Let me say this. We were going to do the brain stuff about the what to eat and what not to eat. We'll do it tomorrow.
Okay, good.
But
I want to hear this.
Yeah,
know
well, it's
now.
another day of bad brain. What's one more day? You
That's
know, you've
all
been
right.
screwing it up already anyway.
Great.
All right, there you go.